Hi, I'm John Lopez,
And I'm Zoe Zeeman.
and we're going to be talking about a piece by Hoch, not Hoch, like it looks like.
The piece is called Cut with the Kitchen Knife Dada Through the Last Weimar Beer Belly Cultural Epic of Germany.
And that really long name that you just mentioned is a lot like the Dada movement, of which it's a part of, in that it's just really absurd and ridiculous.
The Dada movement rose in Germany after the end of World War I and had a lot to do with the ideas of nihilism and existentialism.
And these ideas have a lot to do with the fact that, life's just kind of absurd and meaningless, and you can kind of understand where these Dadaists were coming from after witnessing such tragic losses of life and horrors from World War I.
Hoch herself was from Germany, so she saw these tragedies firsthand, and she witnessed a lot of the political fragmentation going on in Germany at the time.
Yeah, after World War I, Germany was in a lot of chaos. There were a lot of different parties vying for power in Germany.
Mainly the Weimar Republic and the Communists.
The Weimars were the German nationalists. They held most of the power in Germany post-World War I.
And the Weimar Republic was a symbol of the anti-Dada movement.
Yeah, Hoch liked to use the Weimars as a symbol of the anti-Dada because they were sort of the establishment, the power at B, the status quo.
And the Communist Party was really represented as a part of the Dada movement.
And not every Dadaist was a communist necessarily, but the communists sort of represented the Dada movement, the fact they were this new idea. Not a lot of people wanted to accept it so readily, the minority. And the piece itself is done in a photo montage, which the look of a photo montage sort of lends itself to the idea of fragmentation that Germany really had a lot of going on.
And the photo montage technique was almost exclusively part of the Berlin Dada movement because it really represented the state of Germany at the time.
Yeah. There are many figures and ideas fighting for attention in the piece, sort of, how there were a lot of people fighting for attention and power in Germany at the time.
The central figure of the piece is actually the president of the Weimar Republic, but his head is pasted onto a female dancer's body.
And this kind of has to do with her feminist views, but we'll get to more on that later.
The lower left side of the piece is representative of the Dada movement and the communists, featuring Karl Marx and her fellow Dadaists.
One of those being Raoul Haussmann, who actually had a relationship with Hoch for a while.
Hoch's love life was somewhat complicated by the fact that she was bisexual.
Yeah, and she was especially attracted to more masculine women because she liked the idea of a strong female, a woman who could overpower a man.
She was a feminist, but most of the figures depicted in the image are men.
Mostly because she likes to mock them. She puts their faces on female bodies and things like that. It's sort of a commentary on how absurd she finds the idea of a patriarchal society.
And she was often mistreated within the Dada movement. A lot of her peers did not really respect her or take her work seriously.
It's because she was the only female in that movement. And it's even been recorded that a fellow Dadaist, Hans Richter, described her contributions to the movement as limited to the sandwiches, beer, and coffee she could bring them.
So this work really encompasses all her ideas from feminism and political chaos.
Those are her personal ideas, as well as more of the Dada ideas as a whole, like absurdity and the lack of meaning.
Yeah?
But yeah, overall, I really like the artist, and I really like the piece.
Yeah, Hannah Hoch was a revolutionary artist in the Dada movement, and I really like her work.